music's no doubt copywritten, so mute that for now. While I wait. Hey, Gavin Isaacs, what's up, man? How are you today? I'm doing alright. Woke up a little bit late, had, doing a bunch of stuff last minute. But, yep, I have a D&D campaign at 3, so if this preview lasts longer than that, I will be bailing on the Warhammer preview early. But, yep, just checking out the new animation preview that they're doing. They're starting soon. Haven't started yet. Yay. Hey, Alex. Welcome. So how you guys doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Well, and do to you fair Spanish ladies. Yep. So we're finally gonna hopefully get some good answers on what the hell's going on with the animation side of things with Warhammer. I hope that we see a lot of hopefulness and positivity going to be birthed from this, as opposed to the recent negative and foreboding vibe I've been getting. I welcome any kind of positive news about this, so let's hope our fears about GW, well, some of our fears are still very prevalent, but let's hope one of the major fears isn't going to be true. I think you guys know what I mean. If you guys need me to clarify, I will. Yes, hopefully. Yes, again, hoping for the best. I'm hoping that these previews only leave me thinking more positively. I know that they're gonna try and sell everything positively, but I gotta be objective with everything that they say. Hey, Jackson. Hey, Udo Socium. Welcome, guys. Yep, we're gonna be doing a watch along for the Warhammer Animations reveal. Right now, just waiting for them to start it up. It says starting soon, but it said that for the last couple minutes. Now, I know Valoric is doing his own stream right now as well, waiting for the watch-along to start. So that's why I decided to do mine as well for my audience. Not to say we don't have any crossover. Of course, we probably have crossover audience. But yeah, I wanted to do my watch-along and give my live takes as things show up soon. Trademark. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried that. Oh, hello, Moraine. As again, greetings, my darling. Well, greetings, my dear. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, while we wait, I guess I'll turn on my background music. And, I think it'll be fine to leave it off for now. Because I don't think they're going to take too much longer to start. Everyone keep an eye out for misspellings. I'm actually curious to see if they're going to have the same issue. Because they had that issue when they were doing Warhammer Fest. That was one of, like, the biggest digs at GW during that time, was how many spelling mistakes they made in their streams. Yeah. I'm not sure when it's supposed to start, though. Like I said. Yeah, I do have it muted currently, because I don't want it to deafen me. They have, like, really loud music going. Gotta feed my sis cats in the meanwhile. Hopefully this will take a minute or two. More. It might. Still going. Hey, it's been on starting soon for almost 10 minutes, so I'm assuming it will be another minute or so. Garrick, what's up, man? Nathan, thank you for the super generous super chat. Must simp. I appreciate the simpiness, my boy. Did you finish drunkenly assembling that IKEA desk? Alexander von Karstein, welcome. I wonder if GW were wise enough to get their heads out of their asses back around 2010 when DC and Dark Horse wanted to make a comic book and animation series set in the 40K. Would things be better? Oh, it turned into a question. I thought it was more of a statement. Let me read that. I wonder if GW were wise enough to get their heads out of their asses back around 2010. Would things have been better if they had gotten their heads out of their asses back then? Ideally, but probably not. This is still GW we're talking about. There might have been a more inkling of things being good, but their heads eventually would go back up in the ass. Eventually. But again, like I said, I'm hoping we walk away from whatever announcements they're about to have with positivity. I'm hoping that there's only good news coming out. But I'm also going to be honest when I see bullshit. So, fingers crossed that this is only good news, and at least some of our fears with the animators is assuaded. Hopefully. Excuse me. I did indeed been speaking about it in Discord. Ah, I see. The simping, the IKEA furniture, or this? Or all of the above? Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Yeah, it's the best way to look at it. I know, like I said, I know Valoric's doing his thing right now, and he's probably going to be the most positive about everything. I'm going to be a bit more... I think I'll be more middle of the road. Like, when I see bullshit, I'll point it out, but when I see something I like, I'm also not going to be like, nah, I'm going to ignore that just to focus on the negativity. Valoric will, you know, if you guys want pure positivity, you know, Valoric's the guy to go to.
Resources acquired.
Ace, welcome, man. Oh, Gavin Isaacs, thank you for the generous super chat, man. Thank you. As always, whenever I join the stream, here's some cash for the Grimdark. Much appreciated, man. All of it goes to helping the production process, so I very much appreciate it. Thank you. And so does Pyrrhus, because that's part... The best part is Pyrrhus can see his paycheck coming in for my super chat. It's not my money, I'm just holding it for him. Hey Ace, how's it going? Yeah, it's going. Waiting for their thing to start. The thing is, it's been on starting soon for the last, I want to say 13 minutes. Yeah, 12:56. So yeah, it's been going for about 13 minutes. I don't know what the holdup is, but I suppose we wait another bit longer. Yeah, I have a D&D campaign at 3, so I hope this is no more than 2 hours max. Hopefully. It's GW, prepare to be disappointed. Yes, always prepare to be disappointed with GW, but also have that hope that there will be something good. Have it, but be prepared to lose it. Oh yeah, stupid question. Still 40k anime with Eldar is still my hope. Yeah. I don't know. Out of the animations, I'm actually looking forward to the ones we haven't even seen anything about, like what Sayama Peterson's doing for them. Like, I think that's what everybody is hoping to see some kind of preview for. We're probably not going to see anything like that for this preview. At least, don't think so. But if we do, that'll definitely get people's gears going. People will be excited for that. That's for sure. Hello, Murder Skid, how are you? My apologies. That was a random one. I'm gonna grab a cold one. Alright. Yeah, I just have this. I don't have much of this either. I would run and get a refill, but again, they could start at any minute now, so I don't know. How's the D&D? You have very clear audio, I must say. Thank you. Is it not normally? Normally I use my Yeti stereo microphone, which I hope is clearer than this. Oh, hello. What the? There's no audio. Oh yeah, they don't even hear any audio. What the hell? Yeah, see the chat? No audio, no audio. We just started. Are they already having technical? Holy fuck, that's not good. Oh, it's a subscribe. Oh, so unless you're... Oh, okay. So unless you're a Warhammer simp. And it's back to starting soon. Okay. What the hell are they doing? We just started. Come on. Please maintain some semblance of my hope. Jesus Christ. Yeah, apparently subscriber channel. Why should I shouldn't be surprised. Like, unless you're directly simping to their Twitch page. Can't comment. So unless you're wanting to throw down some money, you can't diss us. The old people willing to put down money there are people who are going to compliment him. What the hell? Like, we just started. Like, okay, hold on.
My name is still Adam Trunk.
There
I'm
we
still
go.
Delighted to be here. Welcome to Warhammer Preview Online Animation Special. My name is Adam Troke. I'm joined by my friend and colleague, Eddie Eccles.
It is still an absolute pleasure to join you for this, Adam. A slightly different flavour of preview this week, as instead of looking at cool new models, we're going to take a look at some cool new Warhammer animations.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am greatly relieved that the tech gods and their chosen acolyte, Raph, behind the scenes, were able to save us from having to do this via the medium of interpretive dance.
I haven't practiced interpretive dance. I was not prepared for that. Good news. Nobody wants to see me dance. Definitely not worth tuning in for.
Well, thankfully, there is some stuff really worth tuning in for. And so far in the chat, we have more than 6,000 people who've turned up to get excited with us about Warhammer animation. I'm really stoked to see what we've got going on today.
Let me know if that's too low.
At Games Workshop and all the people who've been working on these.
We're not starting off
Warhammer
good. It's to be
projects.
expected.
And
yeah, but like,
with all of you, the real life
I literally just got done
like
talking about how I hope that this goes better than Warhammer Fest, and from the get-go, no audio.
Where people have tuned in from.
Hopefully that was the only.
South Africa, we have
hopefully get all the
Ireland,
bad stuff out in the front.
Yes, Mutant Zombie 101, you are real life people, and it is lovely to have you with us. Liverpool, Spain, Stirling, Scotland. You can join in the chat if you are a subscriber to our channel. You can subscribe either just like via the normal medium or by using an Amazon Prime subscription, or you can just like stay in here with us and enjoy the show. We're going to be with you today for probably something in the region of 40 minutes would be my guess. We've got some great things to show you throughout that time. But before we kick off, Eddie, what have you been doing Warhammer lately?
Well, I think it's been a very exciting time for.
Or only they going to be
cool
on
things
40
coming
minutes.
up that we know about. Obviously, there's some cool big things on the way for Warhammer 40,000 in the form of some new orcs, which I'm excited about. So I've been picking up some various different shapes of orcs to convert up. Also, in the kind of Age of Sigmar sphere, we've
thank you, Nathan. Thank you.
Horizon. So I've been looking at all the various different factions that I've got on my shelves and deciding which one's going to get love and attention.
Chosen acolytes, black.
How about yourself?
Well, as well as looking forward to the new Age of Sigmar, I'm not going to lie. My Stormcast Eternals army on the shelf behind me is twitching.
No, we don't know what's correct or incorrect.
I had a chance to go on hang out and hobby with Warhammer TV's Wade Price this week, and so I cracked out a new warband for Warhammer Underworlds and have started putting paint.
They're just talking blah 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 stuff at the moment. We'll actually wait to see the actual reveals because. Yeah, they're just basically chatting back and forth right now. Alright, I'll keep the audio super low for them at the moment. Alright. Yes, more shilling, more shilling. Yeah, I wish they would cut to the point. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, for me, this is just unnecessary fluff before the actual reveals that we're waiting for.
Into our first video, and then there's going to be some reaction from yours truly, and we may be able to field a few questions. We've got a pretty exciting slate of things to cover off. Before we jump into that, Eddie, is there anything we should know, or shall we?
Alright, so it sounds like they're about to jump into something right now.
Enjoy the videos. We've got some very good stuff to show you. There might be an extended little bit of something to watch at the end as well, and then I think there's going to be, fair to say, a few surprises in terms of the things we're announcing today as well.
All right. Well, as I said before, and I think we truly mean this, thank you to everybody who has come and joined us for this exciting and a little bit unusual Warhammer preview. Why don't we roll our first video and see where that takes us?
All right, here we go. We got our first video. First reveal. Here we go. Come on.
What more is a space marine than a sword against the dark?
Remember why we fight.
In the not so far future.
We've been here long enough.
Mark my words. Let us play.
Alright, so we're just getting into the compilation of the animations here?
You of the rules, Adept Neath.
Ooh, nice horror. That was nice gore.
Those that would tear humanity down are legion. Always more blood. But they shall be broken!
Suffering is our prayer.
Ooh, we're getting orky stuff.
Prepare for drop pod assault.
And we went right by it. Okay.
We are brothers before any other.
Krieg. Well, that animation looked pretty smooth. That was pretty cool right there. Warhammer Plus. More Warhammer more often. Alright.
Wow, so a lot of very, very cool stuff there. I think we saw some Space Marines, we saw some Orcs, there was some Storm.
Yeah, wait, hold on.
Give us the lowdown. What did we just look at?
Well, what you've seen there is a taste of the lineup that is building for Warhammer animation.
Yeah, but
There's
it's
some incredible projects
some of the things they threw in there we already have out. Like most succinctly, the 9th edition cinematic trailer, the animated trailer. Why did they throw that in there? Like, I get that it's a animation that they're probably proud of, but we already saw it. It's already out on their YouTube channel. Why was that thrown in there? It felt like they just wanted to fill another gap. I don't know.
That's a little bit more about that later on as well.
Why?
What was the thing that stuck out to you, Eddie? In there,
what the fuck is Warhammer Plus? That's the other thing. Like, now I'm left wondering what Warhammer Plus is. Are they gonna try and do a Disney Plus thing?
The whole thing had a really kind
I thought they were doing everything on the Warhammer community page.
It kind of gave me goosebumps throughout. I think I've got lots of different Warhammer armies, and I think it's always nice to see them kind of brought to life and animated. So we've known already that Angels of Death is going to have some Genestealer cultists. I think I saw a few of those. I think the thing that got me most excited, though, are the glimpses of stuff that maybe I hadn't seen before. So I think we spotted some Castellan robots were kind of stomping across the ground there. They looked pretty awesome. I think we saw a little bit of Age of Sigmar animation mixed in amongst it.
I did note
I think we saw a nice big chunky
the
orc
Stormcast stuff.
Seems to be a Death Corps of Krieg guy. So there's a lot of very cool things, and I think the things we hadn't seen before are probably the things that got me most excited. How about yourself, Adam? What
Seriously, is Disney?
Much like you said,
that or they're stealing the same idea.
My favorite single moment is when the Stormcast Eternal smashes whatever it was in the face with a massive hammer.
My favorite moment is when this thing attacked this other thing in like half a second.
Battering things.
Okay.
So 100% stoked by that. Also, it's the variety of the art styles that we're seeing employed throughout that sizzle reel, I suppose is what we should call it. Really exciting to see everything from sort of very gritty black and white paneled art, sort of with a noir style, all the way through to fully rendered animation, some of which is very familiar. We've seen that art style used in our Warhammer 40,000 sort of epic reveal trailer.
And what did you guys think of the... Because right now
length and breadth of
I'm trying to listen to see if he says anything significant, but...
I'm a little bit in the know.
Disney Warhammer Plus Wolf. I don't know what they're doing.
The topic as well. I think one of the really cool things about Warhammer is it is this huge, great, expansive thing where on the one end of the spectrum you've got this kind of grim, gritty, dark, down and dirty combat fighting in the trenches sort of feel to it, and then the other extreme you've got this kind of grand space opera, and then mixed in amongst that.
Yeah, they're not really. They're just stating things, but they're not really discussing actually what we do. They're kind of. I don't know. Are you guys getting the same vibe I am with what they're saying right now? It kind of feels like they're avoiding actually talking about this stuff in detail. Like they're not like breaking anything down. They're not. It's just like, oh wow, Warhammer's great and looks cool animated.
Yeah, totally. It's quite exciting seeing people in the chat who've responded to the different things that they like.
Yeah, it's really exciting seeing in the subscribers only chat. Well, that people are so excited. These are the people who are giving you guys money through a Twitch page. Very few of them are going to be critical and are going to say anything negative.
The Adeptus Society sort of rumbling towards their sort of tactical assault vehicle. I can't wait for more of that.
Now, I will say this about the loop though. Some of the animations did look really solid, like animation-wise. Lore-wise, you know, I'd have to look through the reel again. But some of the animations looks really good. I'm still not a fan of that black and white with like the red highlight anime. Like that filter alone fucks with my eyes. Like I hate that. But the filter aside, it also looked like the most janky. Just from the previous preview we've seen before on their YouTube page, and this. So, but aside from that one, pretty much everything that they showed was pretty smooth, pretty solid animation-wise. So, there's the positive side of it. The problem is they're just not showing enough of it. I would like if we got more detail. Visual detail, not just them chatting about it.
Talking about all those different animation styles, the different things that we've seen in terms of from full rendering to very sort of anime style and the noir concept, it gives us an impression that there's a broad slate for Warhammer animation.
You know, I don't intend for Warglaive to fall, but
to roll our next video and give us.
I think I'd have to try.
What is coming for Warhammer
fall
animation?
like this. All right, next reveal. Here we go. Here we go. Alright, alright. See what we get, see what we get. Oops, sorry. I just realized the chat box is kind of small. Apologies, that guys. Black Talon. Iron Within. Okay, okay. Altar of Wrath. Broken Lance. Pariah Nexus. Oh, they're just okay. They're not actually showing anything right now, they're just showing the titles. Alright, Black Talon. Alright. So, okay.
Well, an awful lot of titles just flew by our eyes there, Adam. What do
even he is like, wow, titles! What?
Announced animations,
Okay, what? What the hell was that?
It's extremely exciting to see such a huge and
okay. Positive angle, they're working. There's a bunch of stuff in the works for cool Warhammer stuff. Downside, they didn't show us anything. In the previous reel, at least we saw examples. What the hell was that? Is this unscripted? Like, I'm unscripted. Them? I have no idea. I didn't work behind the scenes at GW.
Why don't we take these one at a time?
We paid a whole bunch of advertising stylists to style on y'all with titles. Alright, oh, yes. We actually getting... Alright, might have been premature with dissing on that. We actually getting... What?
So Neve Black Talon is one of the more well-known characters for the Stormcast Eternals in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. She's often known as Sigmar's Huntress, and this series will detail the events of her acting in that capacity. There's a really interesting, quite sinister story behind Neve Black Talon, and as you can tell from the tiny little snippet of audio,
maybe not so premature.
There's things at play here that won't necessarily be as they first appear. So the first of these announced shows, Black Talon.
Oh god, that's a stick bug moment right there. That's a stick bug moment.
So that's quite cool and exciting if you're a
I feel like I just got rickrolled.
I think most of the animations we've seen up to this point have been Warhammer 40,000.
Okay, no, I'm not listening to you guys right now. What the hell was that?
I think a lot of people who are Age of Sigmar fans are also keen for us to kind of dive into the Mortal.
Yeah, the people who are Age of Sigmar fans want to see something other than that, like a couple seconds in that reel of the animations you showed before.
Journeying to lots of different parts of the realms and exploring and kind of set off on quests by Sigmar to claim their...
Is this gonna be the whole? Is this gonna be their whole stream? Are they really not gonna show anything substantial?
Vanguard Hunters of the Stormcast Eternals. So it's quite a nice, interesting.
Or was I expecting? I was expecting actual previews, not a snippet.
And gives us a chance to...
And I know, I know it's GW, but come on, even they gotta understand why the hell what they're doing right now is stupid. This is dumb. But you guys gotta give that credit. Like, if that was an intentional, like, stick bug moment, that was pretty good. Because I actually was like, oh, we're gonna see something. Fuck you. God damn.
it'd be interesting. To
Jesus.
her, but also
That is hilarious, though. If that was intentional. That was good. That was good. That's one way to troll people. Curious notion. Have you ever read or listened to the audio drama of the Sigillite? I have not. I don't believe. I think I've actually heard snippets from it, though. If it's what I'm thinking. It's because it's the Malkador stuff, right? Malkador Sigillite.
I've got some hard information, I'll be sure to give it to you. Let's run the next one, right?
It's cool. Trust us now. Give more money. All right.
Commander, we can't trust in old myths. We must look to the iron within.
This is the whole fucking stream.
We know a little bit about Iron Within because we've seen this teased a little bit on the Warhammer community website.
Warhammer previews. They even have it right fucking there. Preview animations. Where's the preview?
And the foe in question is every bit as spiky as the Iron Warriors, which Iron Within will make.
Oh, we're getting nothing for previews. We're getting nothing. Okay. This is... Okay. I'm still gonna stick by the stream. I'm still gonna listen, see if we get anything. But sweet Jesus, that's another stick bug.
Cast their eye across the length and breadth of the Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer Age of Sigmar settings, and give fans a real chance to dig their teeth into some gritty, crunchy Warhammer.
I think the sad thing is when I do more substantial previews of my work than GW. Like I do full.
I think Iron Warriors are quite.
I know we should be talking about Warhammer right here, but honestly, I'm kind of getting more and more pissed the more they go on. So I'm gonna start talking about my own shit. With Warglaive, at least when I do the workflow streams, I'm showing you guys the process of me actually modeling out the bits that you guys will be having on your miniatures. I'm giving more of a substantial preview of my work than anything that they've shown so far. They showed a spliced together bits of animation, which they included an animation that's already fully up on their YouTube page for some reason. And now they're just showing a quick zoom in with some voiceover and then quickly just chatting about it. It's like, ever heard the term show don't fucking tell? Oh, what audio bits are we getting here?
Aristarchus, chaplain of the Black Templars. This is the record of my sins.
The positive angle I can put on that is at least there's Black Templar stuff getting produced. I hope it'll do them justice. My favorite chapter, please. If there's anything to walk away from these previews with, it's please can we get a good Black Templar animation when we actually get to see it.
It's been an incredibly bloody war, and essentially this is the story told through a number.
Is there any way anyone can help you with your work, sir? Other than hiring people on as employees when I have the funding, just financial support and moral support is all I ask. And I know a lot of people can't afford to do financial support. Nathan, thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you. Stream is 40 minutes. Padding it out with talking, showing mostly old content and titles alone. Honestly, this is just super pathetic even for GW. It really is. I'm gonna probably rewatch Valorix. I'm curious to see how Valoric twists this as a positive. Twists what we're seeing as positive. Not to diss Valoric. I'm not dissing him. But Valoric likes to look at things from a positive angle. I'm genuinely gonna need that after this. I'm gonna need to hear how anyone can see this as positive, because really they're not showing anything. It's just the quick snippets they showed at the beginning, and now just talk. It's like, okay, well, talk. It's not what I'm here for. Show, don't fucking tell. I'm sorry. Yeah, but like I was saying, I get that people can't necessarily do financial support. So if you can't do financial, just moral, just showing up to stream saying, hey, I like where Warglaive is coming from. Oh boy.
True power doesn't come from the barrel of a gun. Your choices affect the lives of men. Mine decide the fate of mankind.
So I'm assuming that's the voice of the new Sororitas High Lord of Terra. I'm assuming. Could be a different High Lord.
Corruption and intrigue and betrayal and murder and backstabbing and some of the best known events in the Imperium.
Hellbach believes that voice to be inferior. You must shout what You must shout with what the Emperor gave you. Hurrah! Indeed. Shill Master Valor. I'm not gonna. I get along with Valoric from the few talks I've had with him, like in like comment sections of videos before. Valoric is just a super positive person. Don't get me wrong, it can get a little, like, he can bend over backwards sometimes for JBW, but this is his hobby. He wants to be positive about it. I don't think Valoric is actually shilling. I think he just forces himself to look at the positive, and I can't really knock the man for that. So I won't call him that.
Anybody who's followed some of the recent Black Library series,
I just think he's.
Some of the stuff that,
I just don't think he likes to look on the negative side of things. So we need someone like that in the community. You know, the rest of us need somebody to help us look on the bright side sometimes. Don't get me wrong, I disagree with Valoric on a good chunk of things, but we do need someone with a positive light in the community. And if we're all negative all the time, then why are we engaging in the hobby, right?
There are genuinely some people trying really hard.
Who care about money, bruh? I was just wondering, is there any work to help you with the work-related project? And there's plenty of work to do. But like I said, I don't have the funds to hire you. I'd also need to do an interview process, see your portfolio, see your work. But like I said, that's when I have the money. So unfortunately, at the moment, since I don't have the money to hire anybody else on, I'm a one-man show. But I'm capable of doing a lot of different things. And what's a shill? A shill is when a company pays somebody to speak who's a community head, or basically. Oh, hold on.
Armor yourselves! We ride to glory! We write a new history this day!
Alright, I think that's Imperial Knights based on the symbol.
Broken Lance is a title that works on a number of levels. I quite enjoyed you getting excited about this one. Eddie, give us your insight on this one.
So,
Broken Lance obviously refers to something knightly, so the concept of the weapon, the lance that's been broken. But Lance is also the name of a formation of knights, which is quite often like a household group.
So yeah, Imperial Knights.
Like family group. So
but yeah, a shill's just somebody who is somebody who is framed as a community member of something, like a fan of something, who speaks about it, and then the company, either through favors or through directly just paying them, makes them speak positively about that thing. That's what a shill is. As opposed to a simp, who's, you know, typically somebody who's just a fan of some. Well, simp has kind of evolved as a meaning. It used to just mean like the Twitch thing with the girls and I'm not even getting into that topic. That's something I could care less about. But it's also evolved into meaning like with company simps, for example, like Disney simps. Like whenever Disney comes out with something crappy and people complain about it, everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's actually awesome!" If you're just looking at this from this angle, that, you know, the people who, jeez, they're rattling them off now.
Good enemies is hard to find.
Was that an orc voice? Huh. Okay. Thank you, Nathan, for the super chat, man. Valor Coho gotta stay on the sweet white list. Valoric does his thing. Like I said, I don't like to speak ill of the man. I have my issues with him sometimes. I disagree with him regularly, but I'm not going to diss another content creator just because I disagree with him. Don't get me wrong. I get why people think he's a shill. I get it. It's just that's not my take. Okay, I'm bored and there's nothing happening, so I'm going away. Bye now. Bye. See you, Xerus.
Not long ago. He's from one Hammer and Bolter episode.
I mean, that's nothing new. Xerus usually leaves in my stream's first 5 minutes or so. I can't blame him. Attention span and all that. Well, as Vegan, I highly encourage you. To set up the structure for you to delineate out the work for your artistic vision. Earlier you start, the better you can do with this. You don't need money for interested people to help you properly. For instance, all the people disgruntled with. Well, the thing is, the reason I don't want anyone doing work for me for free, like the reason I don't want to ask people to do stuff for free, is because legally speaking, it's two sides of a coin. On one hand, I morally have a problem with that, Because when I worked in the video game indie development industry, I actually did that a couple times, where I worked for some people who gave me exposure with their like audience of 200 people, and my work never even saw the light of day because their projects either slumped over, they gave up, their motivation ended, and so the exposure I would have gotten didn't even end up being a thing. So from my own experience working in that environment,
resources acquired.
Alright, Sardi's 2. This is, I'm assuming to say, I'm gonna Peterson. Forlorn Lancer, thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you. We didn't even get dialogue with that one. Okay.
I think it's fair to say that Astartes needs no introduction.
Yes, we're all looking forward to that one, when we actually get to see it, right? Forlorn Lancer, I remember when he whined about CSM getting the Lord discordant. After he got major blowback, he said he was only joking. And, like I said, Valoric's not a perfect person, and I just don't like to speak ill of the man. I've had my talks with him, I've interacted with him with my interactions. I disagree with him regularly. I usually leave it at that. But, like I said, I also understand why you guys, or why a good chunk of the community might see Valoric and think, chill, simp. You're free to have that take, I just have my own.
And from day one as well.
Excuse me. Being a shill. Here we go.
Blood. There's always more blood.
Okay. I'm assuming that's just Inquisition. Legally speaking, donation of time and higher recommendation for the future employment. Come now, you can't argue with someone who's taken debate. Oh, do you mean taken debate, or do you mean taken like debate? Oh, like that kind of reads two ways. Well, you're not coming off as antagonistic. You're just speaking your mind. That's fine. But like I said, you know, I have a moral problem with it. I have a moral problem with hiring people for free. Like, I want, if people do good work, I want to give them money. And yes, you're right. You know, having good recommendations for the future of employment, allowing to build up their portfolio through working with me, that is a tangible way of endorsement. That is a tangible way to pay someone back. That is a tangible way to pay someone back for their work. But at the same time, I want to actually pay people money. Like, I want to say, hey, you did an amazing job with this that I assigned you. Here's the money. I don't want to say, hey, oh, here we go. What's this audio bit?
The only path to understanding is to suffer.
The thing is, the audio bits they're sharing aren't even unique. Like, everything they've shared for audio bits, they're just... They sound like random snippets they take out of these animations that are being worked on. They don't sound like they're actual proper hints at, like, what happens in these animations. They literally sound like random lines they're pulling from each of these animations. Like, that's all I'm getting. Do you guys disagree? I'm curious, because I'm not getting anything kind of actual... Not even the audio snippets are good previews. Jesus.
This is quite exciting if you want a glimpse at maybe an unexpected quarter of the elder.
It's very subtle,
well, yeah, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It was interesting about the principal character.
This is a pathetic preview. I know, right? Like, I started this stream with like, hey, let's hope we see something. We haven't seen anything. It's just two guys chatting about all of this shit, and it's pissing me off. And they better end this stream with an actual preview, because these audio snippets are not a fucking preview. I honestly... Ace, I will say I don't mind Valoric that much, though I'd advise everyone to take a massive grain of salt when it comes to his takes. I would say, yeah. I would say when it comes to Valoric, keep in mind he always looks on the positive side.
relatively naive.
Despite the fact that there may be no positives to find, he will find one. Or invent one. That is how Valor goes. He is an uber positive person. I'll leave it at that. Like I said, I disagree with him all the time. Alright, Necrons.
You shall not die alone. I will be there. I will watch the light fade from your eyes.
The ongoing narrative of Warhammer 40,000 shows the Imperium...
I don't know if I'm alone on this, but I don't typically think Necrons sound like that. Only good thing about all this is your beautiful face and personality. Why, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm so pretty. No, but thank you. Oh my god. This looks more and more like an old infomercial about some new Brom handle or something. It's off topic, but the Warhammer community at the bottom of the stream looks like the Subway logo font. And yeah, you're actually kind of right. Yeah, it's that weird, like, rounded blockiness. Well, that's so disgusting. Disgusting!
Yeah, for my money, this one particularly resonates.
Yeah, that voice was crap. Yeah, I don't think Necrons sound like that. Whenever I read lines from Necrons in quotes and stuff, I usually think of, like, definitely a metallic, like, a metallic filter and reverb. I definitely, and slight echo, for sure. But not like that weird waviness they had in there. Also, the way it talked was strange. Like, that, to me, that didn't come off as Necron. But, I don't know, maybe that is the new official way they sound.
Quite a lot of people asking when they get to see some cool new animation. How told Tyler's got to talk through, and then there will be some animation. Don't you guys worry.
Well, that does actually bring us quite nicely to the last...
Did you hear that? He said, oh, someone in the chat was actually asking for animations in this animation preview. No shit.
Thing from the void.
Okay, that's all I get. Toss that thing from the void.
Save this one to last, which is in a moment we're going to play the first 7 minutes.
Oh, thank God. We actually get an actual preview in this.
Before we leap into that, it's worth just...
Please, will this upcoming preview actually make up for the rest of this?
One running to about, but not exactly. Some will be slightly more.
Dare they ask for animations in the preview for our animations? I know, it's crazy. Throw them into the airlock.
Blood Angels and their allies as they fight proper, full-scale Astartes war. And there's so much to it. When we see the footage in a minute, you'll get a sense of the sort of storytelling that's gone into this. I'm absolutely hyped for people to see.
Come on, get to the animation. Come on.
It's going to be a really strong indication of the sort of quality of storytelling and animation and excitement.
Just make Necron sound like Maccabi from Dark Crusade. How hard is that? Apparently, it's impossible.
Yeah, I think you set that up really nicely, Adam. Should
we roll it?
Should we just roll straight in, and then we can get excited about all the bits later on?
Roll the fucking animation, please. Alright, so we're about to get 7 minutes of this. Alright, finally, an actual goddamn preview. Alright, here we go. Come on. A Warhammer original animated series. And of course it's this one. I hate that filter so much.
We are the Emperor's will made flesh.
Oh, that landed with like no weight.
From the dust.
Like, did you hear the sound effects even when it landed? Like, it was like, ding, ding, ding. It sounded like someone dropped a metal whisk that they were wicking some eggs with, like.
To become angels.
Wait, was that it? That wasn't 7 minutes. No, there's more. Because they said 7 minutes. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, I was about to say, like, that is not 7 minutes. Barely 8 minutes. I will say the animations of the face right there look really well done. That's an example of why shadows are so important when you're developing an animation. Because the shadows are your friend. That is universal. Especially when your graphics or your models aren't too... what the hell was that? Sorry, the blood there looked a little weird, didn't it?
In blood I am born. In battle do I live.
Oh, I love that voice.
In light do I rise. In darkness do I fall.
In blood will we be renewed.
Honored Chaplain Raphael.
We are brothers before any other rank.
Is there something you wish of me?
Only to speak to a friend.
I have duties to attend.
Duties beyond this voluntary solitude.
There is nothing I would speak of, Chaplain. I will patrol the lower decks.
I was there to see you succeed in the trials. I watched as you became an angel in both heart and deed. Yet now I look upon a brother that would rather see me a stranger.
Alright, now this is really
We were
good
lost
right
in
here.
the storms and are now trapped over this blighted world, kept from returning to blessed Baal. Do you not chafe at this inaction?
Did your service to the
Lip syncing needs a little work, but generally very, very well done right
Can
here
you no
so
longer
far.
find peace, even here?
What more is a space marine than a sword against the dark? The galaxy burns. We face annihilation. I will not waste any more words.
That threat has always been, since mankind first dragged itself from the surface of terror. But it is a threat we face together.
As you say.
I will say the spaceman's, like, the way they move very lightly. I think that's something that, like, they move a little too smooth. Like, I don't feel the weight of them as they move. Like, I don't feel the weight of their armor. It feels like it's completely ineffective at encumbering them in any way. But it's more, I would say that's on the minor end of things. I still hate this filter though.
Summarize. We still cannot reach Captain Orfeo or his retinue, shipmistress. Signal distortion continues to increase within the planet's atmosphere. We were informed that the city at the base of the orbital tower is supposed to be deserted. There is nothing down there, at least nothing to delay the captain.
Open a Vox link to the orbital dock.
Yes, shipmistress. Vox link established.
This is Captain Salkin of the Blood Angel strike cruiser Sword of Baal.
Yeah, I would prefer if it was unfiltered as well. And okay, that cut was really jagged. They couldn't have. Okay.
Then we have the first scenes of Angels of Death.
Okay, so to break it down, the initial bit we saw with the combat was a little rough. I did like how the Tyranids moved when we actually got to see them like pour out and call walls. That was pretty smooth. My problems are in the smaller, minute stuff, like the way they handle the weight of not only the Space Marines themselves, but their weapons. The sound effects in particular when that Space Marine tossed... fuck, the name of the weapon just... Yeah, took it on my brain. It's not Heavy Bolter. Fuck. Ah. Well, anyway, the weapon he tossed aside, there should have... First of all, the sound effects was very poorly edited in. Because even after it was hitting the ground, the clinks didn't sync up with it like clicking on the ground. Additionally, the sound effects that they chose were too light. Like, you didn't feel this hollow bang of this heavy metal object, like, bashing on the ground. Stormbolter, thank you. You didn't feel that. Like, the weight was completely sucked out of it, and that's another problem they had with the movements of the Space Marines themselves. They moved so fluently as if their armor wasn't even a factor in their movement. Earlier, I think the best visual moments, though, was in particular with the Space Marine's subtle face with the shadows sharply covering his face. In that moment, it looked like it could be real, like real skin, like real facial features. But that's why shadows can be your best friend as an animator. The deep, dark shadows can really hide a lot of the imperfections of your animations and your models. The moment they get into that sharp white light, however, that's when you can see all the minor stuff that really needed some fixing. So they really needed... It's the small stuff that I feel like they just kind of brushed aside and said, it's okay, it's fine for what it is. It's stuff like that you really shouldn't ignore as an animator. The sound effects aside, like, that's not your fault as an animator. It's not usually as an animator, it's not your job to put the sound effects in. But even with the way it landed landed really lightly, like almost like the weapon, the Stormbolter was hollow. So I walk away with definitely the vibe that there was hard work put into this, but it still feels like a fan production to me. Because it's in those small but overt ways that it's still flawed, that needs to be really refined. And if they consider that 7 minutes a finished product, I think that they need to go back to the models. I think they need to go back to the animations and the sound effects and the editing, and they need to touch it up a little bit. It still comes off as a fan animation to me. Don't get me wrong. If this was a fan animation, it'd be in the higher end of fan animation for sure. Right on the crisp of becoming professional. It's just those small tidbits here and there that they really needed to touch up to really take it over that line of it now being a professional animation product. And it doesn't feel like they took that step. It feels like they're just on that edge of being professional, and they just didn't take it for some reason. Maybe it could be rushed. It could be that what we just saw was not indicative of the final product. But for me, it's those small things that you really need to pay attention to as an animator. Because yes, the overt and how smooth the general motions and animations is very important, but you got to factor in every detail. Because animation's an imitation of real life. It's the first thing we animators are taught, is that this is an imitation of real life, and you have to think about every aspect of how things would move. Not just, hey, how would this thing move if it was completely unencumbered? You gotta factor in armor, you gotta factor in clothing weight. Like, if you're wearing, like, leather or armor, you're not gonna be able to move with the same fluidity if you were naked. So there's so many things you need to factor in as an animator, and it's these small things. Plenty of people will call them nitpicks, but for me, and the way I was taught as an animator, this comes off as something that isn't finished. At least not for a team. If a single individual did all this still by themselves with no team, this is impressive. Especially with the time that it, as far as we know, the creator of names today, Hell's Reach, the creator of Hell's Reach came on this with a team. He's being paid, and this is supposed to be a professional product, but it's in those small things that it still comes off like he wasn't given enough time. I don't know. For me, I don't know. It's the smaller stuff in that I have some major issues with. But that's just me. I don't know. What did you guys think of the animation overall? Good, bad, kind of middle of the road, passable? Was a fucking paperweight lighter even? Yeah. TV shows and films and things, but Warhammer 40,000 bridges are more like a cathedral chapel that just happen to have a bunch of... Yeah, sound effects are relatively easy to solve, though, with just a few sound artists and a couple hours. And not even a couple hours for certain things. Especially those sound effects, you just gotta... I think you just need to deepen the clanks of the metal. Like, you could go to, like, Home Depot or in Britain, whatever their equivalent is, buy, like, some scrap metal, grab a hammer, put it next to a mic, bang! Take that sound bite and then you filter it slightly, and you can fix it right up.
We got to share that with everybody and have a bit of a chat about Angels of Death and how exciting it's going to be. A lot of people have asked when they can know more, Eddie, when they can know more about how they're going to be able to watch it and when it's going to come out. Should we start filling in?
We've seen fan productions better than this, mind? Yeah, Astartes. But to be fair to Astartes, that is a 1 in a million, like, work of passion, what that was produced with. So I would say, personally, as someone who was taught and has done animation work professionally, when I look at Astartes, I don't look at it as just a fan project. I look at it as a professional work bred from a fan, bred from a desire. Yeah, you could say factually it is a fan animation. It is. But in terms of the product, though, Astartes is 100% professional. Like, if you put that in your portfolio and applied to any studio or gaming studio around the world, they would be fighting for you to get hired on. Like, something of that quality, there's so little to nitpick, if anything, in Astartes. So, in terms of the quality, that is not just professional. That looks like something that it took a group of 7 or 8 people working for over a year on. And it was one person, and you could put that on your resume. Sayama shouldn't have any short of people hunting him down and trying to get offers. Like, there's quality, and then there's that. Like, that is well and above what I would expect to see on a portfolio. For a single individual to have achieved by themselves. That is its own work entirely. This would be good for amateurs / fan made. As for corpo product, this is garbage. Yeah, and that's the thing. The thing is, the animation, a lot of people are going to say, oh, it looks beautiful, it looks good, and they're keeping in mind it's made by the guy who made Hell's Reach. But the moment you factor in a professional company not only is paying for this guy it has a paycheck behind him and is assumedly has a staff of some kind also helping him. So if he has a staff helping him on top of everything else, on top of a budget, and that's the best that they provide, they need to take more time. That needs more time in the oven. Because they're taking it out while the bread's still doughy. Like, that's still dough. That's barely done. It looks beautiful and crispy on the outside, but the moment you open it up, it's all dough in the center. That needs more time in the oven. That is a perfect example of something that is not refined. It needs more time. So yeah, it's good. If this was a fan animation, it'd be fantastic. The moment you realize this is funded by a company that makes the money that GW does, it falls flat. Once you put a professional label on something, people are going to judge it by professional standards, and that just does not match up. It looks good, but it needs to be refined. It's in the overt smaller things that are going to knock people right out of the immersion of that animation. The lack of any weight to the armor, the clanky, like, light hollowness of the Stormbolter, and also the lip syncing. All of that is stuff that people are inherently going to be drawn towards, and it's over. That's all they showed. That's all they showed. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. This is all we got. Okay, so to sum that up then, this preview was 90% highlighting the logos. It was 90% highlighting the logos of their new projects, and that's it. And then we got 7 minutes of an animation, which, as I've said, it's good, but it needs to be worked on more. It's not done. I hope those 7 minutes are still considered mid production, so they can fix that. Cause yeah, that was not good. This whole stream was not very good. I gotta say. I mean, call me Mr. Negative, but I am very unimpressed. I think I'd be less angry if they didn't waste so much time just showing logos and random audio snippets and then talking about that the whole time. Like, a preview like this should be a preview. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like they should only show the previews and then turn off the stream. Talk about it for sure, but actually talk about it. Like, all they said pretty much the whole time was like, oh, how animations are cool, right? Yeah, they're cool. You didn't even talk about the animations themselves, really. Now, to be fair, I wasn't like listening to every single word. I was talking over them a lot, but from the bits and pieces I was trying to listen to, most of it just sounded like they were gushing over the concept of animations for Warhammer being a thing. These are things get hype. Yeah, it's... Even the way they cut off that preview was just so... Done. They literally cut the lady off mid-sentence. Neat, tied up, beautiful. It's neat and tied up. Beautiful, no. I'm going to be direct. This preview was shit, and yeah, it was pretty garbage. They needed more time. The preview alone needed more time to put together properly, as alone everything else. If they were talking anything of value, you would not be talking over them, and that's true. To be fair, Iron Within. I don't know anything about animation, but this is a bummer. What about Astartes or Iron? No, I mean they should have made it tied up and neat, and they didn't. Okay, you were saying that's what they should have done. Okay, so they're doing another preview? Well, I thought that was the only one they were doing today. Or are they repeating the same preview? Hold on. I was only aware of the one preview today. I'll wait a minute, see if it's something different. Yeah, I was just very unimpressed though. Edna did nothing wrong. Oh god. The Edna thing though, that's hilarious to me. Edna mode. Me and Ludus made plenty of jokes about that on the podcast the other day. I don't know. Yeah. They expanded so much, bloated stuff over title screens. I know. It's the whole thing was a bloat. That 40-minute preview could have been summed up in 10 minutes, and that's including everything. Like they could have had the initial quick, snappy cut to preview at the beginning. Had the guys say animations are cool, left it at that. Given a 7-minute preview, done. They could have done all of that in 10 minutes flat. Instead, they were like, hey, let's zoom in on the title or the logo of this animation, chat about it, where all we essentially say is how cool it is that Warhammer is getting animations. We don't actually talk about the animation, and then move on. It's like you could have summed all that up way faster and not wasted people's times. Even in their own chat, oh my god, look at this. That was a letdown. Even in the people who are subscribed and giving their Twitch channel money are like, dude, That was a letdown. And then you got people like this, Purge the haters. They're not... How can you call anyone who has a problem with what that shit was a hater? That's so unfair. That is so unfair. Because what about that was good? They showed nothing of value. Sweet Lord. Kind of want to start a Blood Angel army now? Really? I want a model of that ship, Master. Okay. It's like, wow, this thing makes me want to buy more stuff. Right. Yeah. And if they walked away positive, I don't want to be a shrewd asshole. I hope people did walk away with some positivity. I'm just not. I'm very miffed, to say the least. That preview was disappointing. So what a bunch of simps. At the end of the day, yeah. And they're allowed, if they get enjoyment out of it and they look at this stuff and they fall into it, that's their choice. I can't truly and utterly fault anybody for wanting to look positive. It's why, it's the same reason I can't fault Valric. But at the same time, like I think it's I think when you go too far the other direction, when you there's being like, okay, I don't want to look at this in a negative light, but then there's like that. There's like, oh my god, that was awesome. No, it wasn't. They wasted 40 minutes of your time. Granted, you chose to watch it, and I chose to watch it. Technically our fault, but at the same time, they said this the whole 40 minutes was a preview. In reality, out of the 40 minutes that's actually a preview, is at max 10 minutes. And that's including the first animation that lasted like a minute, and the 7-minute one at the end. And then a little bit of them talking about in the middle, where I'm hoping at least one or two things they said was some kind of indication of what's going on. But yeah, if people walk away positive, I can only be happy for them. And it's only a good thing when people are positive and happy with what they're doing. That's only ever a good thing. Even if it's irrational and kind of like self-medicated blindness. I'm not going to knock somebody for trying to find some happiness in their hobby. But again, I just can't understand being able to completely, like, essentially not even look at what they saw and think about it. Like, I won't be able to understand that mindset, but that's me. We have asked me to make it better. Let me catch up with you guys. Sorry. I'm just gonna ranting there. They should have named it Animation Titles Lineup. I mean, that would have been more accurate. That would have been infinitely more accurate. This was a disaster of a stream, really. Well, half drunk in 12 minutes. Probably. And work for pure belief only? Well, the thing is, even orcs work for teeth. That's at least something more tangible. They literally took 40 minutes away from all of us. Yeah, I want a refund. Oh, God. I'm so bored, I sent a bunch of flowers to my neighbor, Steve. If I was feeling generous, it would make me want to buy more stuff to help them out, because I feel that they need all the help they could get. Poor souls who worked on this. Yeah, like, I don't know what's going on in the background, honestly. Like, I can't understand. Granted, I would have to know more about the production process and the behind the scenes, like how much actual other animators and developers are working on these animations besides the fan animators they hired on. Do they actually have a team of people animating stuff, or is it just them animating and they have a team of people who provide like sound bites and provide clips and artwork and stuff like that, but no other animators? If that comes out to be the case, then a lot of what we're seeing will make a lot more sense. But if we're going under the assumption that they actually have a team that they're working with of animators, people who know how to animate, this needs work. This is not a multi-person product for the time that they've had. It needs work. Again, it's not horrible. I've seen way worse animations in the same amount of time. But those people had the excuse of lack of budget, lack of tools, and inexperience. This is supposed to be none of those three, except maybe a little bit of inexperience for the guy at the head of it. But still, I was not impressed. Boo, more stuff. Yeah, it might just be a repeat of what they just did. We'll see. To be fair, this preview made me want to go buy a Blood Angel army and bait them. Sarcasm level over 9,000. You're not a true fan, says the person who just got into it a month ago. Yeah. Well, again, I'm not gonna label people who say you're not a true fan with that. You might be right, and I might agree with you with that assumption, but at the same time, like, I'm not gonna stoop to the level of throwing labels on people just because of their opinions. That's what other people like to do. It's not my hobby. I will support you, Asmogon. If this is the quality of future Warhammer, you shall beat them. And the thing is, yeah, I think in the same amount of time, with a budget behind me, I could probably do better. Of course, those are bold words, and I am by myself, but I think I could. It's been a while since I animated anything, though, to be fair. Trust in me. Yeah, that's actually a very good comparison. Trust in me. That is a very good one. I like that one. I'm going to use that. Brother, get the flamer. The heavy flamer. Indeed, brother. Is a negative fuel that shall burn under your artistic vision and make your work better. Trust me, artists are negative as heck. Yeah, I actually have to agree with you. Most artists I've met are very negative people. But they're typically my gauge of how good of an artist you are is how negative you are about not only your own work, but like artwork in general. And wait to your wallets because this needs some cleansing. All right. On the plus side, this means you'll get a lot of business with Warglaive. And yeah, I think is I don't want Yeah. On one hand, I'm kind of like, yeah, like awesome for that side of things, but at the same time, I still don't want Warglaive to be this thing that's produced out of hate. Not that like rage and frustration aren't good fuels for productivity. They are, but I don't want it to be bred just from a place of hatred of something I still love. I still love Warhammer. I just don't like where Warhammer's going. Like, but yeah, I cannot stress enough. I don't want Warglaive to be a Warhammer killer. This still upsets me as a Warhammer fan. Like, I don't see this as, yeah, I have more room to destroy them. No, I want Warhammer to continue to be a thing. So it annoys me even more that they're doing this, because it's like, I want Warglaive to thrive on its own and thrive with its own community and audience. But it looks like it'll just grow out of the pure point that people are getting so fed up with Warhammer. And I don't want that. You know, I want the business, but I don't want people to get fed up with the same hobby I still enjoy. Finkarn. Oh, I haven't seen you in forever, man. Famous last words. I think maybe they had an editor behind them and had to redo some of it. Of course, this is speculation. Possibly. I think you can do very well on Warglaive waifu figurines alone. Thank you. Asmo can't diss Simps because I'm still watching. Nah, I'll diss you all day long, you sexy son of a bitch. Because you love it, and I know you do. Well, we're going to see the writing in the wall. Yeah. Oh, on the wall. It is not hatred, Asmo. It is tough love. That's a good way to put it. Asgard, stop right there. Warglaive should be born out of a love of reality and an embrace of fantasy, with a hatred at its forge. It's like, What builds the materials are love and passion, but the forge is hatred. But I get you. I tell you, Black Templar fan. Yeah, and I'm a Black Templar guy, so we can relate. There is no hate towards 40k. There is just disappointment. Yeah, that's really what it is at the end of the day. I don't hate Warhammer. I love Warhammer. You can't be a fan of something for 7 long, good years and walk away hating it. I hate where it's going. I hate what people are just satisfied with the keys dangling in front of them. I hate that. But I will never hate Warhammer, or I can't. When I've had so many great moments in this hobby over these last 7 good long years, I can never hate Warhammer. Hate where it's going with a passion, but I can never hate it on its own. What did I walk in on? We just finished going over the preview for Warhammer Animations, which it really wasn't a preview, and technically 7 minutes of it was certainly a preview, but the rest of the 33 minutes really wasn't. That Asmo is gonna hate fuck Warclave into existence. That's one way to phrase it. That's nice. God damn it. For example, you can hate modern Marvel and still enjoy old school comic books. That's true. Holy fuck, has it gone downhill? Yeah, and again, can't ruin the old stuff. It's still there, thankfully. But yeah, where it's going is my problem. Get funding this way cannot go wrong. Neckbeardia works with Asmogon to release the Warclave. Neckbeardia? Who's Neckbeardia? Kind of Eldar murder fuck this thing. Jesus. Gonna be catching that then when we're done here. Alright. James is a really cool guy. You dirty corpses, Emperor Simp. Me? What was that prompting? And with that, I must go and work at bar. All right. Nope, they're repeating the same. Okay, so this is the same. All right. So since there's nothing more new coming up, they're just repeating the same preview. I guess we'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for joining in the stream. For those who watched the VOD back of this stream, feel free to jump in the comments and give your opinion on why you were either positive for these previews or why you were negative. Though I was super negative at times, hopefully when we actually see real previews of what's coming, we can all walk away a little bit more positive about it. Hopefully, knock on wood that they don't fuck it up. But, I definitely walk away from this preview disappointed. That's my take, though. It is not the one and only take to have. Other than that, have a good one, guys. Thank you guys for hanging, chilling, watching. And thanks to those who gave super chats, Nathan in particular, as well as Gavin Isaacs. You guys were super generous today. Thank you guys so much. And, yeah, I thank you guys. Seriously. Much love to you, mate. Thanks for entertaining us today. Thank you for hopping in. I'm glad I could entertain you. Anyway, have a good one, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you, Gavin Isaacs, again for the super chat, man. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Yeah, you too, man.